How you like my theme music? It's funky, it's old and new all at the same time. Hello, hello, and welcome to Woo to the Third Power. Woo to the Third Power, or Woo Cubed. With Kim Coles. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited that you're here. We're going to spend a little time together, and I've got a very special guest. I see some amazing people stopping by. So glad that you're here. So I just want to spend a little time explaining the Woo Cubed or Woo to the Third Power experience to you. It's going to be my new show. It is my new show where I get a chance to come and spend some time with you, really sharing the woo experience. I'm going to explain what all that is. So many of you know me as an actress. I'm also a comedian, an author, a speaker, a coach, and I have my very own Kimpire. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And within the Kimpire, the beginning of the Kimpire, you may have come to know is when I started on a TV show called Living Single. Prior to that, I had been a stand-up comedian, and that led to other shows, and then led to what I refer to as one of the sparkling jewels of my life Living Single. And in Living Color too, but Living Single is really the sparkling jewel. And I played a character named Sinclair. And Sinclair was lovable and joyful and positive. And by the way, those are all parts of who I am. I'm a little less naive than she is, but all of that that joyful, playful spirit lives within me. And I'm going to tell you today how I came to be that kind of person and how you can experience some of that woo experience too. So you may know I had my own sitcom catchphrase, and the catchphrase was woo, 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 woo. And I'll tell you as a side note, to have your own sitcom catchphrase is kind of the holy grail of being a performer or having a sitcom show. And thank you all so much for watching the show for as long as you have, as long as you did. I still receive those residual checks. So thank you. Thank you. By the way, I don't know if there'll be a reboot. Stop asking me. I don't know. We all still look good, so I hope there is one. But my character said woo, woo, woo. And what's interesting is that people understand the meaning of woo, 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 even if they don't really know fully where it came from, where it comes from, and what the meaning really is. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share with you the meaning behind woo, 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 as I, behind the scenes, call woo to the third power. So I'll tell you now, it's something my mother gave to me. My mother, Bernice, who is an awesome, awesome human being. And I'm so glad that I was born to her. She, at the time of me filming this, she actually is about to turn 20. I'm sorry. On the 22nd of July, she will be 91 years young. And I say 91 years young because although the body sort of slows down, her mind is as strong as it was when I was a kid. And for that, I am truly, truly grateful. Bernice is an amazing woman because she's one of those people who loves everybody and really loves deeply and sees people for who they are, so that no matter who they are or what they do or what they do for a living, like she doesn't discriminate against someone because they weren't maybe educated like she was, or that they don't make the same amount of money that she did as a master teacher in New York for 40 years, or whatever it is, whatever socioeconomic, race, culture, creed, religion you come from. She just loves on people, and she instilled that in me very deeply, and for which I'm really grateful. But woo 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 is something that she would say when words would fail her. I'm not even sure words ever failed her because she's a teacher. Hello, she knows how to talk. It was an expression of love and concern and care and acknowledgement, and it adapted for whatever she needed it to mean. So if my brother or I had fallen down and hurt ourselves, the response was, "Oh, woo, 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 sweetie, you're going to be okay. Woo, 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 let me kiss it for you. You're going to be fine." Or if you didn't get the grade that you wanted to get on your test, it was, "Oh, woo, 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 you're going to do better next time." Or, "Woo, woo, woo, you know, you should have studied more." Like, it was adaptable. It was a movable feast, so to speak. She made it mean what she needed it to mean. But always it meant, "I acknowledge you. I see you. I got your back. I'm on your side. It's going to get better. All is well. You are covered always." I mean, all of the things that mean that any mother or father would want for their child. Deep love, deep appreciation, deep expectation that all is well. She's originally from Raleigh, North Carolina. I have an interesting history of how I came to be, which I'll come to in just a moment. But Bernice is just that spirit, just that energy of woo, woo, woo. And so when I ad-libbed that on the set one day, living single, "Oh, woo, 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 Khadijah," or "Woo, woo, woo, Overton," or whoever I was woo, woo, wooing, they were like, the producers were like, "I don't know what that is, but we're keeping that in the show." And from that moment forth, woo, woo, woo became a part of not only the you know the show, it was like another character in the show, so to speak, that being able to soothe someone or recognize someone or love on someone became another thing that Sinclair could be and do and experience, and a part of her character. Do you know what I'm saying? Another thing that could be another device to use as a writer. Like, we don't know what to say here. Have Sinclair say woo, woo, woo. Okay, woo, woo, woo. Like, it really was a beautiful thing. And what's so beautiful about it is that to this day, people say woo, woo, woo to me. There are often people who will woo, woo, woo me before they even say hello. Woo, 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 Sinclair. And that's how I know it's lasted. There are people, iconic, people in media who say woo, woo, woo. Wendy Williams sometimes says woo, woo, woo. I've heard other people use the term, and maybe not even referencing me per se, but it's a part of the lexicon. And for that, I'm very humble and very grateful. So my team and I set out to create something that would be that energy in the world, a show that I know will grow, because we're going to grow it together, because that's part of the woo, woo, woo spirit. A show that will talk about all kinds of topics, all kinds of energies, all kinds of experiences, but always the foundation will be about being seen, acknowledged, and heard. And in these times that we're in these crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs times that we are in, I think we need as much positivity and as much possibility as possible. I think woo, woo, woo speaks to possibility. You fell down, baby, you're going to feel all right. You're going to be fine. Woo, woo, woo. I think now more than ever, we need that deep understanding and seeing of each other, no matter our race, our creed, our size, our age, where we come from, how much money we make, any of that. Acceptance and joy and speaking into positivity and possibilities is where I come from. It's who I am, and what I want to put out in the world. And so that's what we're going to be all about here. The other thing I want to share, because I did digress a little bit to where I came from. I saw a quick comment. Somebody said, "Where's she from?" She's from Raleigh. So I love telling people that I am the product of Black colleges. I'm the product of these beautiful schools uh, that only Black students could go to, that we weren't allowed to go other places. And so these universities and institutions were created so that we could have higher learning. And so I love to tell people that I'm a product of Shaw University, although I never attended Shaw University. That's where my parents met. And Shaw is in Raleigh, North Carolina. My mother is from Raleigh and went and stood in line at registration the first day of school. My father is originally from Brooklyn, and he received, I guess, some sort of, Army or GI, I forget what they call it when they give you a little scholarship, after you do a little time in the Army. And so he and his best friend from Brooklyn decided to go to Shaw University and got in line at registration. And the first day of registration, my father from Brooklyn, being the way he was with his personality, started, talking to the girls and teasing them about their accent. Like, y'all so country. Why you talk like that? And my mother, being sassy as she is and was like, what you talking about? You probably gonna marry some kind of country girl like me. What? They became really good friends from that moment. Like, she came right back at him, and they became friends and later got married, moved to New York. That's where my brother and I were raised and born. And then 17 years later, born and raised, I should say, 17 years later, they divorced. My father loved North Carolina so much that he moved back to North Carolina, married wife number 2, and then later wife number 3. I told you he had a great personality. He was very charming. And my mother later retired back to Raleigh. So it was really cool until my father passed away in 2019 for me to go back to Raleigh and visit both of them all the time. I call myself a part-time Carolina girl for that reason. And so I want you to think about you and your lineage and your parentage. Like I said, I'm a product of Shaw University. I never attended. They went there, so I get to be a part of that lineage. And when I've done events for United Negro College Fund, I love teasing people on stage. I'm a product of Shaw, and they all clap. And I go, wait. I did not graduate from any place, but they did. And that's good enough for me. They instilled in me that pride and that charm. And I'll come on a whole nother episode and talk about my father. But what I wanted you to look at in your life is that so many times we look at our parents and maybe what they didn't do right. Maybe there's some limiting beliefs that they passed on to us, or maybe one or both of our parents weren't really there for us. I'm fortunate that both of my parents remained really there for us, and all the way there. And even when my father left, he made a promise that no matter where I am in the world, the phone is going to ring at 6 p.m. on Sunday, and it will be me. And for the next 40 years of my life or more, the phone would ring at 6 p.m. on 6 p.m. and it was my father calling. And so he stayed very connected to me in my life. And that's another story, because I'll start to cry about his promise to me. But I want you to look in your life where look at the qualities that one of your elders, it may not be your parents, maybe you have an uncomfortable relationship with one of your parents. I'll come back and read the comments later, because I just want to come and play with you. Look for someone in your lineage that bestowed some great something on you. Maybe it was they were a great cook and they taught you how to cook, or maybe they could sew so beautifully. Now you know how to make, beautiful dresses, or you know how to crochet shawls or something. Is there something from someone in your lineage that was bestowed upon you that you use to this day? So today I'm talking about woo, 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 and I named the show Woo to the Third Power or Woo Cubed. But maybe there's something that was bestowed upon you that you can look back and go like, wow, I got that. And I'm so grateful that I got that. And I'll come back and read your comments and give you some love on that. Like, it's a value. I'll also say this, it could be something that they didn't do, and you decided for the rest of your life you would do it in a different way. So let's say there was a parent who was absent, and you decided when you had children that you would never do that. Either way, I got to tell you, it's a gift. You get to look at that as if it's a gift because it's a part of who you are. It's a part of your DNA, and you get to acknowledge it. You get to celebrate what works. You get to change the perspective on what didn't work. And this is what I mean about being positive. We can go like, these things have happened. Sometimes uncomfortable things have happened. I like to call it the yummy versus the yucky, right? There's some yucky things that have happened to all of us in our lives. But I choose to look at things through the lens of perspective and what can I learn and who can I decide to be, even though those people were deciding to be a different kind of way. I hope that makes sense for you. I want to check my time here to make sure I'm good because I have my guest. Good. So woo 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 is also, there's a little extra. People talk about, but I just did that. That means za 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 zoo. I make up words. Za 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 zoo and woo woo woo. The other thing I want you to understand about woo 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 and woo to the third power is that woo is often a term that is used for spirituality. So when people start talking about their beliefs, their spirituality, their faith, people will say that's very woo. Oh, that's a little woo. That's out there for me. But the woo is what connects us. And I just want to, from my perspective, whosoever you call spirit, God, the creator, the universe, that which connects us, Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, there's so many names, right? There's so many names of the woo experience. I feel like the woo is what connects us. And I feel the woo is how we feel when we stay connected to source. I don't know about you, but anytime I feel disconnected or out of alignment, it's that energy of, whoo, I need to get reconnected. I need to plug back in. And so however you do that, I'm going to encourage you and invite you that, especially in these cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs times, to stay connected to the woo, however you language it, however it feels to you, whatever, book you read, or text you read, however you pray, stay connected to the woo. Stay connected to that energy because we need it now more than ever. And I just wanted to share that with you. Somebody wrote peace and love. Yeah, the peace and love. Like, that's the pure piece of it. I don't even care what you call it, how you pray, where you sit, what incense you burn, what sage you burn, what Native American spirit that you call in, what animal spirit. Whatever it is, it's all good to me. I respect it all. I'm drawn to all of it. And I will be connecting to the woo in this experience as well. How's that? Okay, good. What else I want to share with you? I'm excited about this new venture because it's not, this is not a Hollywood production. This is me in front of a crowded bookshelf. And sometimes I'll be in other places. It's just me coming straight to you. This is not some executive who decided to hand me a check and say, oh, go produce this show. Although it would be very nice if it becomes that. But with my own, how do I want to say, control. And I don't mean control. I mean, this is coming from my heart to you. I'd like to think that this show will be really laced with all kinds of humor and heart, because that's where I come from. That's what I'm all about. And that's what I want to put out in the world and what I want to see in the world. The other thing I will share with you is I recently did a program online that was free, and I probably will bring it back at some point. And it was called the Manifest Me Map. And the Manifest Me Map was about creating a vision for the life that you really want to see in your experience. Better than that you want to feel in your experience, that you want to see, feel, and be, right? And manifestation and visualization and all of that, all those universal laws really work when you are aware that whatever you're putting out is what will come back in. Those are universal laws. And it's said so many different ways in so many different cultures. Whatever you put out is what you're going to get back. It's true. You are a reflection of your world and a reflection of what you want to see in the world. And so the more you stay attuned to the woo and connection to the divine, however you language it, and the more you really invest time and energy into developing the heart and the heart space and opening your heart, and the more you tell the world who you want to be and what you want to see, the more it begins to show up and go, okay, if that's what you want. So it's all about being love if you want love. Like it's really that simple. Like, I really want to meet someone really nice. I want to meet a nice mate. Okay, show up as love in everything you do. That means you don't put yourself down. You don't beat yourself up. It means you take good care of yourself. It means you, and when I say take care of yourself, I don't mean that your nails have to always be done, because I have met more than one gentleman while I looked a little raggedy. Well, they were raggedy too. So there it is. I was reflecting things out in the world. But it's about showing up as the thing that you really want. So it means showing up as love, showing up as wealth and prosperity. There's a way that someone who is prosperous shows up in the world. There's a way that someone who wants joy in their life shows up as joy in their lives. And I'm not saying that your every day will be perfect, because we all have moments, and we all have, like, sometimes those moments last a really long time. But the truth is that when you show up as the mirrored expression of what you want in the world will mirror that back to you. And that is the secret sauce behind the manifest me experience. It was all about manifesting me, the mirrored expression. And so that's why I plan to show up here full of humor, full of heart, full of reflections of things I've come to learn and have my understanding of, and open up dialogue for us to be able to talk with each other, hang out with each other, and create a positive space for growth and for opportunity and positivity. Okay, now you got a taste of what this is going to be all about. We'll let you know. You'll get the notices when I'm going live, and when I'm sharing what I want to share. How about that? It's woo to the third power. Oh, that's the other thing I want to say to you. So we know that's mathematics, right? Like woo cubed. So cubed, or any number to the third power, means it is exponentialized. You get that, right? So 3 to the third power means 3 times 3 times 3. So it's not just 3, it's 3 cubed. Anything that you put out in the world, you want to put your power behind. That's why this show is called Woo to the Third Power. Now, of course, you know that not only did I say woo, 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 it actually the way it worked is actually woo, woo, woo 3 times. So the way it's supposed to go is woo, 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 woo. 3 times 3 times 3, I'm exponentializing that energy. And that's what I want you to look in your life. Look at places in your life where you can exponentialize. And I'm not sure that's a word, but you'll come to know that sometimes I make up words, and that's okay. I want you to look in areas of your life that you want to exponentialize. And once again, put your comments here, and I'd be happy to come back and take a look. I want you to exponentialize your joy, exponentialize your love, exponentialize all the great things, your money, your financials, your wealth, your health, your confidence, your well-being. What can you do to exponentialize and raise your vibration and raise your level of understanding of all that you wants you back? Everything you want wants you back. That's exponentialize. And that's what we're going to do spending this time together. I make up words. I hope that's all right with y'all. Okay. Exponentialize. So that's actually the secret baked in meaning. So it's woo times 3. And it's woo cubed, meaning it's going to keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. All right. Speaking of going and going, I'd like to bring my special guest up. Now, I'm really excited about bringing up this special guest because we have already begun exponentializing together. And that's what this show is going to be about: positivity and exponentializing. So I want you to meet my very special guest. Her name is Kearn Cherry. Kearn Cherry is called the Butts in Seats Queen. She's a speaker, coach, entrepreneur, and #1 best-selling author. She's the coach of creating your own event, especially virtual. Yes, that's a hint of what we're going to be doing together. She is the owner of PRN Home Care for 24 years and over 35 years in the healthcare industry. She's the co-founder and director of Success Women's Conference with over 17,000 attendees virtually. She is the creator of the Power Up Summit and the Level Up Virtual Summit. Mrs. Cherry is the visionary author of the best-selling book. Oh, it cut off. The best-selling book. Well, she'll have to tell us what's the name of the best-selling book. Please welcome to the stage right now, the one and only Kearn Cherry. Hello.
Hello. I didn't know I was going to be the first guest, but I'm so excited.
Welcome to the Woo Cubed. And I love that you said hello. 3 is the magic number. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And I cut off the bio here in my notes. What is the name of the book so everyone can go out and get it?
So I actually have 2 #1 best-selling international book, Trailblazers Who Lead the Series, the first one, and Make It Happen. So I always tell people, look, God pushed me into doing anthology so other people can share their story.
It's such a beautiful thing, really, when there's a visionary author who says, yes, come on along and let's all grow. And I like to say, go and grow together.
Yes.
So you are all about exponentializing, and you could not be called the Butts and Seats Queen. Will you explain to people what that means? Because as a performer, I understand what butts and seats means. What does that mean?
Well, for me, I always tell people I'm all about making sure that people get to your event and that they're excited about being in your event. So there's 2 parts to it. #1, many people have events and you're thinking, oh, there's going to be 1,000 people there. And then there are 20. Right? So I believe in putting a team together so that we can get the butts in the seats. I believe people like you, of course, have many butts behind them. And so that being said, you got to pick people who know how to get people to follow them. And then the other thing, you have to create something that people want to be a part of. And that's also a part of putting butts in the seats. If you got an event and it's just kind of, people aren't going to want to be there, and you ain't going to have no butts in the seat either.
Right. And butts in the seats means you have a financial success too, right?
Yes. I've been doing this I've been creating events and conferences now for almost 20 years. So Success Women's Conference, actually 2019, we had almost 1,500 people in little old Biloxi, Mississippi. And so that's about an hour from New Orleans for people that don't know that. And then, but we had over a $200,000 budget that I personally had to make sure that we raised to, because we had over 120 speakers.
Wow.
And we believe in bringing in people such as yourself who know how to pour in the people, so that's what I'm about.
That's what you're about. Well, listen, I'm so grateful that you have asked me to participate in the Power Up Summit this year, and I'm so excited to participate and to pour and to spread positivity and to be a part of something that, you've got a formula for making this happen. Obviously, you're called the Butts and Seats Queen. You said something very, very poignant to me, is that you create an event that people want to attend. And so many times people just throw something up and they throw a thing with a bunch of faces on it, a bunch of speakers, but you create a full, rich experience for people so that they leave transformed and they leave better than when they came in, right?
Right. That's Power Up Summit. This actually came up after Success 2019. And I always tell people, I always say, he set me down. I needed to do something different. And so I'm still one of the co-founders and directors and run Success Women's Conference. But getting back to my roots of running my own,
Mhm.
Power Up, even pre-COVID, was about helping people to power up, not just part of their life, but their finances, their
Mm.
health, their career, their business, their life in general. People have been down for a while.
Yeah.
They have been really down for a while. So our goal is to help people power up right now. So that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. You also said something really powerful. I think that people, there's so many, like the pandemic has been so devastating
Mm-hmm.
that people, and it's been so devastating for so long, right? It's been, we're
Correct.
over a year into a year and a half into this at this point. Well, what's interesting is I think people, because it was so devastating and so difficult, I think that people think that the day before we knew about this, everything was la di da da da. We were all like, running through the daffodils and everything was fine. You're right. People have been, and I think people have always been depressed, or there's always, I should say, there are people who are depressed, or people searching for more, or people wanting more, or people uh, feeling that sense that there's more to life, but not knowing how to go after it. So, can you speak to why it's so important to attend the Power Up conference? I mean, I love that you're like, people were depressed before, like we were having issues before this. This just brought a light on it. And you have so powerfully said, no, 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 we're going to power up again. We're going to power up stronger than ever. So speak to what we're going to learn there, what we're going to get when we show up.
So for me, initially when I started, I was looking at all the speakers who many people speak and coach, and they have all these products, they're authors, they're visionaries, and people like that. Initially, for me, I was thinking, I need to show these people. I, I, I wanted to show people how you really needed to
Mhm.
change your life, change what you do,
Mhm.
make sure that you power up, that
Yeah.
you can't stay where you are. Many people feel like, I'm just going to stay right here. Things are going to be okay. I'll bounce back. Or they give up and they try something new. Sometimes you have to get with other people
Yeah.
who've already been where you've been. And so when you come to our conference, you're going to hear people, you're going to hear speakers who are going to have more. Maybe they don't have more knowledge. They're just doing something better than you at that point, and it speaks to you. I always tell people your message is not your message. Your message is for somebody else, and therefore somebody else is going to benefit from that message.
Indeed. Who should attend the Power Up Summit?
Uh, but everybody, we last year,
Who's it
yeah.
for?
So let me just say that our average age runs between 30 to probably 60, 65. And so it's men and women. Yesterday we were in Clubhouse and we brought the men to the stage, and we had several men, variety. We will have at the conference, we start early in the morning and end in the evening. And we do that because we're an international conference. We have international speakers. We'll have we will also have live conversation, private conversations and chats like with Kim and Lisa Nichols and other people like that. But you got to get your VIP ticket to do that. And of course, we're going to recognize people from around the globe at our Power Up Awards Gala. So this is for you. We're doing this for you. So
Any person who's ready
everybody
to
can
power
come
up.
and get some.
Okay.
Yes.
So when is it and how can we get tickets? And I just want you to hear what Kern just said. So this is a beautiful Power Up Summit and you can attend. But there's also a VIP where you get a chance to have more private, more intimate time with me. And I love that you've created this space so that people who want to invest another level into themselves, who are ready to pour into themselves, a little bit more, you're providing this other opportunity. So when is it and how do we get tickets? Well, I know how I get tickets. I'm coming, but how do
so
I'm
the
speaking?
Power Up Summit is July the 14th through the 18th. It actually starts, y'all, in less than 5 days.
Oh my goodness.
So you definitely want to get your ticket. We kick off on a Wednesday. We end on a Sunday with none other than Kim Coates and all our awards finalists. So we are so excited. You got to be there because we're going to have the red carpet experience as well. So we definitely want y'all there and involved. You need to be there. Don't
Mhm.
miss this opportunity.
Yeah.
And we also on Sunday going to have Christian in the Marketplace and our Power Up Gospel Hour. So
Mhm.
don't miss that. And every night outside the award gala, we're going to end with conversations and cocktails. So,
Nice.
so who else is going to be there? I already told you. Kim Coles, Lisa Nichols, Chrisette Michelle. We also have Tamika Scott from Escape. You know they're going on tour. And we also have Leah Diaz, who's going to be there as well from Married to Medicine LA. So don't
Nice.
miss our conference time, the number two, powerup.com, time, the number two, powerup.com. Get your tickets. Registration is free. But if you want to elevate, get your VIP access ticket.
Get your VIP. I'll say this: anytime I have an opportunity to have the VIP experience or take the VIP experience, I take it. It's always an elevated experience. It's always an opportunity to have more access to the speakers, to you, to other like-minded individuals. And so I always upgrade to a VIP experience. It just gets you more access, more information, more connected, more networking. And I think now more than ever, because we spent so much time being disconnected, if you can connect, you do so. If you can invest in yourself to connect even further, it's time to do that. So good, good. So the 14th through the 17th, I told you when we did our interview on Clubhouse that I'm going to be in a secret location by that time, but I'm bringing sequins and my lashes for the gala anyway. Now I can't tell people where I'm going to be, but I will be streaming live from a secret location. I think by then I'll be allowed to tell. I'll
Oh,
be
I can't wait.
in quarantine somewhere. I can't tell you where.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I know my people can't wait either.
Oh,
So
I'm
we are
so excited.
so looking forward to Kim. And if y'all want to get a closer, in depth conversation with Kim, you got to get that VIP ticket.
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah.
want to thank you for being a powerful woman with the power by creating all that you already have and the Power Up Summit as well. I'm going to ask you what drives you, what powers you up?
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm to say this right off the bat. I'm a natural giver, and so I often tell people, if you stay with me, I'll drag you along with me if you whether you like it or not. I really enjoy seeing people increase and go to the next level. So I really, really am excited always to be able to bring and create other stages for people and allow them to share their story. Because I believe that you should be sharing your gift is what you're called to do. And sharing your message is written that you're called to share that. So I get joy. I get a lot of joy in watching people, take their whole life to the next level. You know what, Kim?
What?
It's not fun being at the top by yourself. Now, I'm not saying I'm at the top. So I plan to go there and drag some people with me. So, and I do have to say this. Both of my daughters graduated from an HBCU. They went to Alabama A&M. And so I agree with you. HBCUs and where it's at.
Where it's at. It's so funny. When I was talking before, I couldn't think of the term HBCU. Like it just fell out of my head. I've done a lot of work around, giving back to HBCUs, especially since my parents attended one. I attended one for about one semester, then I dropped out. I was like, and then my career took off, but I always give back in that way. And I'm hoping that, somewhere I'll receive my degree in my next lifetime or something. but I have a degree in love and
Right.
laughter and wanting to power up with other people. I'm so grateful that you created this. I'm so grateful that you answered your gift. And anyone listening to this, I really want you to hear that this is what happens when you step into your gift, whatever your gift is. Resources will be made available. The way will, and I'm not saying that, I'm sure as an event coordinator, there are things that happen, things that fall down, or this vendor doesn't show up, or all those things. But I bet the path is laid out for you, and resources show up for you because you are a giver. And I'm so grateful that you are. I'm so grateful that you asked me to come and play with you. And I am excited to power up with all the men and the women who are showing up July 14th through the, what did I say?
18th
Through
to
the
the
18th.
18th.
Listen, thank you, Kearn Cherry. Thank you, thank you. Kearn Cherry, ever so sweet. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you. Well, that's it for the first episode of the Woo, Woo, Woo experience, the Woo cubed, Woo to the third power. There's so much power in our word. There's so much power in our gift. There's so much power in humor and heart. I'm so glad you spent some time with me. The power is in you. I'll see y'all real soon. Thank you. Bye bye. And woo, woo, woo. Wink.